Hi everyone, today I'll be teaching you how to sew this reversible bucket hat. To make this bucket hat, you will need the pattern, which is available in the description, 1/2 metre of lining fabric and 1/2 metre of the main fabric. It is best to use a heavyweight fabric. However, if you have chosen a lightweight fabric, you may use interfacing to make this fabric stiff. Lay out your fabric and on the fold, place your pattern pieces, pin and cut. In the main fabric, you will have one top, 2 brims and 2 bands. And in the lining fabric, you will also have one top, 2 brims and 2 bands. This next step is only required if you have chosen to use lightweight fabric. Place your pattern on the fold of the interfacing and pin and cut. For this example, I have used sew-on interfacing. With the interfacing pinned to the lining fabric, sew a foot-width seam around the whole brim. Now place together the 2 main fabric brim pieces. Pin and then sew along each side seam with a 1 cm seam allowance. Now repeat this step with the lining fabric. We will now sew the band pieces together like we did with the brim pieces. Do this to both the main fabric and the lining fabric. Next, using an iron, press all the seams of the brim and the band pieces open. In total, there will be 4 brim seams and 4 band seams to press open. Now we will sew the 2 brim pieces together. With right sides together, place one brim piece on top of the other brim piece. It is really important that the 2 seams are aligned together. Pin around the edge of the brim all the way around. And we will now use a 1 cm seam allowance to sew all the way around the brim. Next, using scissors, cut out notches around the edge of the brim. I like to space mine out at about 1 to 2 centimeters. Once you've cut all the notches, turn the brim so the right side is facing out. We will now iron the brim and do a top stitch to give it a professional finish. Using a straight stitch, sew around the whole brim on the edge of the fabric. This will hold the fabric in place. Now we will attach the band to the top for both the lining and the main fabric. Firstly, get the main fabric band and the main fabric top and place these together with their right sides facing. Pin these together so it will look something like this. You may now either base stitch or machine stitch a 0.8 cm seam allowance around the whole top. Next, using scissors, cut notches all the way around the top. I like to space these at about 1.5 centimeters. Now repeat the exact same steps for the lining fabric. Doing those steps for the lining fabric and the main fabric, you will end up with 2 tops that look like this. We will do a top stitch around the top of each band. To do this, place the top of the hat under the machine's foot and ensure the joining seam underneath is facing downwards. Now using a straight stitch, do a top stitch around the top of the band all the way around. Do this to both the main and the lining fabric pieces. It should now look something like this. We will now attach the tops to the brim. Do this by placing the right side of the lining top against the lining side of the brim, ensuring all seams line up. Pin all the way around and use a 1 cm seam allowance to join the brim and the top together, and then clip off any bulky extra seam allowance. The final step is to place the main fabric top to the rest of the hat. To do this, turn up the raw edge of the band by 1 cm and press all the way around. Now, with its right sides facing out, place the top of the hat on top of the main hat, while ensuring all seams are aligned. Next, pin all the way around to hold in place, and then use the sewing machine to do a top stitch around the very edge of the band to hold everything in place. And there we have it, a nice and easy bucket hat. This pattern is really versatile for the summer and really easy to make, so I hope you have a lot of fun making lots of these hats. Thanks a lot for watching this video and subscribing to the channel, and I hope you check back in the future for more videos.